Hey, what's up? It's John Kizzy. You know who is he? A.K.A. Philly G, because they know who I be. I'm here with my cousin, Ray Ray.
What it do, people? Here I am.
And hey, we started a podcast. Today we here in a new location, just trying it out, see how it goes. And we here with episode 89. King Tigger, he's at prior engagement. And DJ Laton's out sick. Hope he gets better soon. But they'll be here next time. So we're just going to jump right in with music. And the first thing, we got a couple, but the first thing we got for the music is Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign's album, Vultures 2. What you think of it?
Yeah, for me, it was good, but I found like there was a lot of experimental music on there. I don't know if you noticed that. It seemed like there was a lot of like probably good moments with Kanye and his daughter kind of playing around in the studio, kind of working on something. So there's probably some really good bonding moments between the family and things like that. But I don't feel like it resonated that much with the music for the songs that I did listen to on it. The song Sky City, that has to be my favorite on there. Like, kudos to Ty Dolla $ign and Kanye. And when I was listening to it on YouTube, it didn't actually give me the other person's name who's on that song, but everybody's verse on there was top notch. That's the Kanye we've been waiting to hear for a long time.
Yeah, and that's a good point because it was same thing on Spotify. He did the same thing for their first collabo album. It doesn't name the features, so you just got to listen and try and figure it out. But I found out if you go to Wikipedia, they have all the credits there. You can find out.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know how to say it nicely. Wish his daughter was on the album less. I think that she didn't need to be there. But yeah, I didn't like it as much as the last one, the first Vultures one. And with this experimental thing, another thing that brings to mind is that it's a Kanye West Ty Dolla $ign album, but it feels like Ty doesn't get as much say in this stuff as Kanye.
Yeah. And are we expecting this to be Kanye West's last album? Because didn't he say he was retiring?
Every rapper says they retired, though. You
know
what I mean? Who knows? I hope he doesn't go with this one because he's too talented for this to be his last output, right?
Yeah. Now that being said, like it was probably a very beautiful experience between father and daughter. I just feel like having his daughter sing on the songs is less impactful for me, I guess, than him being like, that beat was created by my daughter.
Oh yeah.
Because he's a phenomenal producer, phenomenal beat maker, everything like that, like for the music production wise. So if it comes out that there are certain songs on there that were like catered or like created or like crafted by his daughter, like using that experience that her father has, I feel like that would be more impactful than. Because like anybody's daughter can kind of sing on a song. If you're a musical artist and you have a child, you could have them sing on a song. People are going to like it and be like, that's cute. That's really cool. Those kind of things. But it can get over tiring.
Yeah.
You know?
If it's too much. I remember on Tech Nine's song Ever Ready, there's a song called The Road where he has both his daughters in it. They actually spit.
Okay.
And it was cute and it was good. It was a really good experience. This I don't know. Come on, this is daughter. It just wasn't for me. This is Drake on one track. Weak this, and it was weak. Funny that he dissed Adidas more openly when he just said it's a fuck Adidas. You know what I mean? Whereas his diss track was like, you don't like me, go listen to Drake, bitch. You know what I mean? Like it was a weak tap, man.
Now, did you like the fact that he's on those songs, he's talking about how like almost kind of crafting that this was a master plan to get him out of his deal with Adidas? He kind of addresses that in the songs, like basically like trying to get free.
But is it true though? Or is it just somebody saying something that, to look away?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, when you lose $1 billion thing, you come out and be like, yeah, I did it on purpose because of blah, 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 blah. Are you just saying that in reaction to it happening? Or do you think he actually thought this through?
I think he might have thought some of it through, to be quite honest. You think about, like, from the inception of Kanye West, he was very insightful about how he released his music, how he released messages to the public. Like, look what he did. When he said, George Bush don't like black people. That was very strategic. He knew that was going to be an awkward situation for everybody watching, everybody who was involved in that broadcast. And he knew that was going to get a lot of attention.
And he knew it was live, so they couldn't stop him from saying it.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
And that was, like, at that time, that was like, whoa, you can't say that.
The funniest part about that is that he said it while standing next to a Canadian guy. Mike Myers didn't know what to say.
If anybody watching this, go back and watch that clip of Mike Myers' face when he says it.
Yeah, he's
priceless.
He didn't know what to do. He didn't even know where to look. Yeah, talk about getting put on the spot. That's like the crown of being put on the spot. Yeah, I don't think anyone ever been put on the spot like that.
No, that's a whole different type of put on. But Kanye West, he'll put people on the spot, right? Like look what he did when with the Taylor Swift thing, right?
Yeah, that was gangster, man.
Like he went up there and did that, and he knew that was going to be broadcast. So how can you not broadcast that moment?
Yeah,
right.
You know, he tried to get Beyonce to go with him, but she wasn't. She just laughed. It's funny. I wonder what the conversation was like after that. You know, she wasn't mad at it.
Oh no, she was probably like, "You're right, but you didn't need to do that."
Yeah.
I mean, but like going back to the album, there was some really good songs on there. Just some of the stuff that I heard, it sounded very experimental for Kanye West. As somebody like when you go back through and dive through his albums, the experimental stuff that he doesn't make it to the album. He has multi-listening parties. He brings in multi-generational artists from all different mediums to craft one particular sound. And I feel like this was more of him playing in the studio with his family.
Yeah.
Which is great and fine, and I commend it, because that's what a father's supposed to do. I commend that 100%. I just feel it would have been, you're a producer. You're not a singer. You try to be a singer sometimes, and it doesn't translate well.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that your daughter doesn't have a good voice, because she probably does have a good voice. And from some stuff I heard, I did like. But I just found in certain moments, it felt like there was more of like, let's just play in the studio and have fun as a family.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess that's one thing you can take away from it. You can tell that they had fun doing the album. It was like a fun experience for them. And I guess Kanye's at a point where he could do that and put it out there and be like, this is stuff I thought was fun. This is stuff I liked. You know, maybe some other people will. If you don't, you know, I mean, he's not chasing sales.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
So yeah, he can do that. He's at the right point in his career to do stuff like this. So yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah, and he's gonna get the sales regardless, because just because people want to watch the show, they want to know what's going on. What is he saying? Who's he talking about? After all of the stuff that has been leading up to him doing this, right?
Yeah. True. Yeah, I agree, man. So yeah, go check it out for yourself. And I still think I like the first Vultures better, only because they were more standout tracks.
Yeah.
For me, there's songs on there that I put on my playlist.
Yeah.
More than on this. On this, like that was it Skyline or Sky?
I think it was called Sky City.
Sky City.
Yeah.
That's one that stood out to me.
Oh, absolutely. That song will be on my playlist. That's something that I would play for years and years and years to come. That song has the potential to be a classic.
Yeah. And I messed up the name because I listened to the album in my car. So I only glanced at the titles. But yeah, go check out the album. So the next thing I want to talk about is, did you catch that tiny desk with the locks on it?
Ooh. That was good.
Yeah, they didn't do, like, I didn't know what to expect because of how they are. I didn't know, like, what songs are they going to do? How does it translate to, like, the band doing it and all this stuff? But everything it was dope. Like how they had that female doing Eve's farts for Recognize on there. And they all had they shared the shine. And, you know what I mean? Because everyone knows Jada's Jada, right? But the Locks is the Locks, and they didn't lean on Jada.
No, there was no leaning on them at that time. It was actually really cool to watch, and they were having fun. That's another thing. Like, it is really, there's something about it when you see the musicians having fun with each other and giving like little different renditions of what their songs would have sounded like. Like, because I don't think that they've done much with bands.
But you wouldn't know by watching it though.
No,
they were real comfortable. I like how Styles came right out and said he's high. he let it be known.
Yeah,
that was dope. Tiny Desk is I really like it, man. Like I seen Wu-Tang do it. I seen GZA do it on his own. I've seen a lot of artists do it. Like Usher really did well.
Yeah,
it was Tiny Desk is, man. It's free. I wonder if they pay for the tickets there or what.
It was really cool, and it was good to hear like songs that I grew up to being put with a band, and having like when the girl came in and started doing was it Little Kim's part for Money, Power, Respect? I was like, oh my Lord.
Yeah, when I heard that beat, I was like, oh man, sheesh.
Yeah,
I'm glad they did that. R.I.P. X.
Yeah, for sure.
That was like one of my favorite X verses growing up, man.
Yeah.
They used to cut it off.
Yeah, they did.
I was like, how you cutting off DMX? And they used to bleep out words like when he talks about you being the junk, you know, in the trunk. And just because he's implicating that you're dead body in the trunk, they cut that out. I was like, how you cut out trunk? Like
that's a different one to censor.
That's a crazy censor there. But yeah, that was my verse, man. That song and video made me mad at 106 in Park for always cutting off videos.
And you think that they wouldn't cut it out? This is the same people that had Uncut After Dark and all these other things going on. Like, come on, man.
And 106 in Park got to a point where not only did they cut off videos, they'd started like mid-verse.
Yeah, they'd still be talking as the video was playing in the background. You could kind of see it on the screen, and then they would transition.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I was like, how you gonna start it mid? You missed the first part of someone's verse. Yeah, man.
Well, this was back like in the days when you were like when people were starting to get into pirating music and things like that. So it was like if you weren't doing that, you heard your music on those shows.
Yeah.
So you were frustrated if you didn't hear that whole song.
Because I remember Rap City on Mush Music does, and you'd hear songs for the first time. And the cool thing about Rap City is it came on like, I think it was around supper time, right? 5 or 6.
Yeah. But
then it came back on again at 1. It was the same episode.
Yeah.
So when I seen songs that I liked, I set my VCR to record it later on. And that's how I made like my mix videos. Yeah. Man.
Nice. I was the little kid with the Home Alone recorder. Remember the Home Alone recorder, the little silver one that he had in the movie?
Yeah.
I had one of those, right? So I used to run up to the TV and make my little mixtapes that way, man.
Yeah, the things, man. Kids these days won't know what we had to go through to hear a song.
Yeah. Tell them they got to go blow in a game to get it to start.
Tell somebody, yeah, when we were younger, we didn't get to hear the song when we wanted to. We hoped it was on the radio. And if we missed it, who knows when we're hearing it again. You'd call your friends, be like, yo, they're playing this right now. And you'd have to do that to listen to it. Because you wasn't old enough, or your mom wasn't buying you those tapes with cursing on them.
No.
So you had to listen to it on the radio. Man, the radio's dead now, though. They just play the same crap over and over again. And there ain't nowhere in Halifax for hip-hop radio. Remember, we used to have CKDU, but do they still have a hip-hop segment?
Yeah, they do. They still do, as far as I know. Yeah, and that's something we're working on about bringing more voices as well as more music to the radio from our culture. So be on the lookout. Mucho Radio.
Nice. Because that's something that we definitely need. Because, yeah, right now it ain't right. Like I'll bring it up here and I'll say it. It pisses me off that we hear Houdini on the radio like every hour on Virgin Radio, every hour. And they never played Kendrick Not Like Us. The number one selling song of 2024.
Yeah.
And we don't hear it on the radio here. And I went to New York And I can tell you, I drove to New York, drove through Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Connecticut. Anyways, drove down, listened to the radio in 4 different states. And guess what? They play it. So there is a radio-friendly copy of it out there. Number 1 song in the world. In our city, doesn't play it at all.
Yeah, I think it said on Spotify it's 800 million listens or something like that.
No, that was on the video on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
In just a few weeks, it's up to 800 million views. When it came out, it sold in less than 2 weeks. It sold 1 million copies, and then it came out in May, around the end of May, and by June, it was up to 2 million copies sold, and 800 million views. Like, this city gotta come on now. You're missing out on opportunities. People obviously like it. They want to hear it.
Yeah.
Play it, man. Shit. But Eminem puts out something that's everywhere. It's crazy. Anyways, this is a subject I was going to say for Latom, but since he's so sick, I'll say it. Vybz Kartel has been released from prison.
Big ups to Vybz Kartel.
Yeah, he's more than... I'm not as familiar on Vybz as Laton is.
Yeah.
I know the stuff he did with Busta, but I don't know too much of his own stuff. But reading it, I thought he was out because he finished his sentence, but no, his sentence got overturned.
Yeah.
Found out that one of the jury members got bribed.
Yeah, that's a wild thing to think about, because he sat in jail for a long time. And for that to just finally come out that a jury member had been bribed, like...
I think it's at 13 years.
Yeah.
And they didn't even let him out right when they found that out, because the appeals were going through to see if they were going to do a retrial, and then they said they're not. So
yeah,
he's home.
Vybz, you should be going after them for compensation of what they did to your career. Does it put you on a 13-year hiatus?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's major compensation that should be awarded to you.
See if it happens.
Yeah.
That's Jamaica laws. I don't know what the laws is down there.
I don't even pretend to know I know what's going on down there.
So who knows?
But big ups to the self-proclaimed king of dancehall.
Yeah, and everyone's celebrating him, so he's going to be working soon.
Oh yeah.
So unfortunately, we probably won't hear him on the radio up here, but he'll be on Spotify and everywhere else so that we can listen to him. But yeah, that's some good news. Here's some funny stuff. I don't even know what I want to call it funny. Controversial. Where LL Cool J was on Club Shay Shay. Mm-hmm. He was. I was watching some of it. Where he's talking about battling and stuff. In a minute, I want to talk about his Def Jam Mount Rushmore. But he was because you often, some rappers take beefs personally, right?
Yeah.
So it was refreshing to see LL talk about, no, he don't take none of that stuff personally. Is when we battle, we keep it in there. Like he talked about the battle with Cannabis. Mm. And he said himself, it was because he was cocky and he was in a different place in his life. He shouldn't have took it the way he took it. Yeah. Because remember, it was LL has a tattoo of a mic on his arm, and Cannabis liked it and looked up to him. Because you got to think, LL Cool J that's like your pioneer there, right? And Cannabis like, yo, I want to get one like that. And LL took it as him biting it rather than paying homage. And that's what started that beef. But, it's cool to see that LL can be like, yeah, that was on me. I started that. Yeah. But
it would be good to see him reach back
to Cannabis,
because that ended Cannabis's career basically. The only other fight that Cannabis had with another MC that really put the nail in his coffin was Eminem, to be quite honest. And then he was in the battle leagues, and like the people in the battle leagues were making him pull up rhymes off his phone. Yeah. In the battles, right? It wasn't a good look for someone who was always viewed as that lyrical guy, right? And like you said, it was a paying homage. Let me borrow the mic on your arm.
Yeah, he put it in his verse.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say let me tear your mic off or show you who owns that mic or nothing like that. He was just like, let me borrow it and show them that I can do this too.
Yeah, it was all respect.
Yeah, but to like change the verse.
Yeah. That was dirty.
Cut him out the video. Because they had two videos, because there was a video with Cannabis and football gear, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And then he was going and Master P was in it all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was like, what?
Master P.
But like, could you imagine being Cannabis at that time? Of just being like, I want to pay homage to one of the greatest MCs in the world. And he took a slight, on his song, I want to pay homage to him. And instead he took it as a slight and dissed me his whole verse.
Yeah, like that's like
The whole verse is a diss.
What's that whole that saying? They say never meet your heroes. Imagine meeting somebody that you look up to, that you probably wrote rhymes because you were inspired from hearing LL.
Yeah,
and then just be like, yo, man, kind of, I want to be like you, and whatever. And then him to dish you and railroad your career. Yeah, that was bad. Speaking of cannabis, because Eminem and cannabis, because I had this conversation with someone online. Because he was like, man, people always say Eminem never really battled anyone. They say all he did is this is his pop stars. And then they mentioned, well, is Joe Budden a pop star? Is Cannabis a pop star? As people that he battled, right?
Who else did he diss? He dissed Ja Rule.
Yeah.
He dissed Benzino.
Yeah, and
Insane Clown Posse.
MGK. But here's what I'm saying, because I had a little pushback, because I was like, but were they battles? Kendrick and Drake, they battled because they had a back and forth.
Yeah.
Drake and Meek Mill battled. Nas and Jay-Z, they battled. I don't even think you can call the Pac and Big a battle, because that was one-sided. Because Pac, like...
I don't know if we can... I think we do call it a battle, because we do have to count Who Shot Ya.
You do?
Yeah, I count Who Shot Ya.
Okay. If you count that, then yes, it's a battle. But putting a line here and there in a song is not you battling somebody.
No.
That's like... That's
a diss.
Yeah, that's
a
like
diss.
Almost like a sneak diss. That's just a little here. So that's why, like, I don't think Joe Budden and M had songs about each other, whole tracks, did they?
No, not whole songs. No, I don't think Joe Budden actually came at Eminem with a song or anything like that.
He might
it was
have put
more
a
of like
verse,
just talking
like,
stuff.
Yeah, you might have put like a couple bars. And same with like what about Cannabis and M? Did they have an all-out battle?
I think that they did. I'm pretty sure Cannabis recorded some music, like a full song about him.
Okay, and did M have a full answer?
Oh yeah, M did a song called, I think it was called Cannabitch.
Yes, I do remember that. Oh, and also with battles, we should say Fiddy and Ja.
Oh yeah, that was
definitely
a battle. That involved that battle encompassed so many people.
Oh yeah, that was camps.
You know what I mean? That was full camps.
That was basically Aftermath versus Murder Inc.
It was Aftermath versus New York. Because you got to remember, as soon as other people started jumping in, it turned into 50 Cent and Fat Joe.
Yeah, but also
Locks.
Also, Busta Rhymes and DMX also went at Ja Rule too, right? Mm-hmm. So Aftermath still has some New York ties on a.
Yeah. You are right about that. Yeah.
So yeah. Though that's the difference between battles. Like, he doesn't battle. Eminem doesn't battle pop stars. He makes fun of them in a song and a little thing, and then moves on to the next line. Yeah, there's like Britney Spears doesn't have a whole song dedicated to her and stuff. Disses and battles are totally different. Disses can turn into a battle because it can cause a battle, but you mention a line, that's not a battle. So yeah, Eminem doesn't battle pop stars. He disses them. Yeah, and it's more of making fun of them. Like, he battled MGK.
Oh yeah,
kicked his face in.
Oh yeah, that was a bad one.
Yeah.
I seen a video, just to go off top. I seen a video of Logan Paul coming out of his entrance at the last event for WWE, and MGK's there with him like a tag team partner. I was like, what? I was like, I didn't know that these guys are all diving into wrestling, but okay.
MGK is just he won't go down. He's staying in the spotlight. Got himself making Fox, and
well, the thing about the guy is, like, when you actually really think about MGK, like, when you put past the him dissing Eminem, and that kind of messed up a lot of the stuff with it, like with his momentum. Mm-hmm. He can do street rap. He can bar you down. He can do rock music. He can act. And now, if he's doing physical performances with wrestling, he's got some talent.
I agree with some of that. Yeah, I don't know if he can bury you down because I've never. His bars don't hit me like. I don't know.
It's a very slippery slope depending on who you compare him to.
That's what I mean, and I'm comparing with people I've seen him with.
Yeah,
like he's been on tracks with Tech Nine, and I can't say he buried him down. Instead that's a Tech. You know what I mean?
No.
And then you're going toe to toe with M. You know what I mean? The thing is, there's so many tiers in hip hop that to me, MGK is nowhere near like the top tier.
No.
But he's not. I wouldn't put him in the bottom tier.
No,
either.
not at all.
You know what I mean? There's so many tiers. Like that's why when you say bury him down, I'm like, type of bars people I listen to, right?
Yeah.
That's a strong word because I know so many that could kill him.
Yeah. You gotta listen to that. Do you ever hear his song "Will Cleveland"? It's like a black and white video.
Nah, it rings a bell. I can't remember it though. It rings a bell.
Yeah, he's all in the hood with his people and stuff like that, and it's a straight hip hop song, right?
Yeah.
So I respect that from him, and then see him do different stuff of being versatile with other musical outlets. Like a lot of people didn't like when Lil Wayne did a rock album. I liked it because it showed that versatility of his flow and of his creation, right? It maybe didn't do as well as his hip hop albums, but it was good to see somebody step out of that normal hip hop genre and show that I can do this kind of music as well.
Yeah, I respect that. Anyways, I'm sorry, we went off topic. We were talking about LL. The thing that has some controversy where he chose his Def Jam Mount Rushmore, and people were mad that he didn't have Kanye, Jay-Z, and who was the other person? Kanye, Jay-Z, someone else, DMX on there, because LL said his Mount Rushmore of Def Jam is himself, LL Cool J, of course.
Yep.
The Beastie Boys.
Yep.
Public Enemy.
Yep. Not mad at any of them so far.
And Slick Rick.
You got to look at the era that he came from.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
And you gotta say there'd be no Def Jam without them.
Yep. There wouldn't be any LL without them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Def Jam was a movement at that time, right?
Yeah.
With all of those guys together, right?
So I don't see any controversy there. I'm just saying that younger people can't relate and don't know the history.
Yeah.
So that's why they think it's controversial.
Well, and the funny thing is, some people would hear even those names that got left off it, and still think that there should be other ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True that. But yeah, I like his list. I like his list. Of course, I'm from a different era than LL. He's older than me, so my list would have been different. Because my Def Jam list would have probably been like what? X, Meth.
Yep.
Who else put me on the Def Jam? Method Man, DMX, and I would have to say Jay-Z and probably Kanye to round it out.
Yeah.
Some people would say Ja, because see, Ja's beef went so bad that people won't show him the respect for what he did before that.
Absolutely.
Ja did run things. Yeah, 50 Cent beat him back. That, you know what it would be like? What this would be like? Comparable to like if, like right now, if Drake could make a comeback. And then people later on acting like Drake wasn't running the game for 15 years before Kendrick dethroned him.
Yeah.
That's how I feel towards Ja Rule. It's like, man, he's a bum. 50 did. I was like, okay, but between me and you, come on, that's
You can literally.
You couldn't go to a club without hearing Ja.
There's so many Ja Rule hits.
I know.
They might have other people on them as well, but they're hits.
Yeah.
And you remember his lyrics.
Fuck,
Not just the chorus. You remember his lyrics.
Yeah. He was able to get catchy bars, right? Even Soul, Holla Holla Cuss.
Yeah.
Like, people play with Ja's name just because, 50 was a monster, man.
Well, and the stuff that was going on behind the scenes, though, and that's what the public never really understands. They look at it like 50 just smashed him and he disappeared.
No, they did some financial stuff.
Yeah, like they raided these guys and they shut down their label. They made it so people couldn't produce music. They bankrupt the label.
And they said it, but there was an interview with a cop that later came out and confirmed that 50 didn't help them. He wasn't snitching or nothing. He said that Irv Gotti and them was idiots using two-way pages for communication, acting like we can't trace that shit.
Yeah.
So they kind of shot themselves in the foot.
But the thing is, they won. their case.
It's still you can't win back time though.
No, exactly. And the money that they spent doing it, and the public perception that was going on about them not being gangsters.
Yeah.
Right? Because at this time, you got to look at it. What 50 Cent's calling them out, saying you're not a gangster. Then a raid happens at your office, and you have to prove to the government, I am not a gangster.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to think about that and add these little connections together, right? It's like,
Yeah.
but it's 50's still a mastermind. I'll give him all his props in the world. You're mastermind. You got Ja Rule out of here for doing exactly what you came on and did.
I know.
Like 4 months after he was out. 21 Questions. Like, when did that come out? I think that was like right after the beef, wasn't it?
Then was Jordan the Beef. That was the first album.
Yeah. So it was like the second release after Wangster, wasn't it? Or in the club, Wangster, and then probably 21 Questions.
I can't remember if Pimp came before or after 21 Questions. But it was either or.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was like I know. Yeah, yeah. It was funny. And then Amusement Park.
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
he made
Candy
fun of
Shop.
Yeah, Candy Shop. Guys made fun of Ja for doing these songs, and then he took Ja's place and did those songs. It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
That's hip hop history for you. But should we keep getting off track of LL? I wanted to say that his new album coming out is called The Force, and it's reportedly completely produced by Q-Tip.
Ooh. Q-Tip was a hell of a producer back then, and people forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I don't like the first single so far.
Oh, okay.
It got Rick Ross and Fat Joe in it. LL is tight on it, but Ricky, just lyrically, he's never saying nothing. So
yeah.
He's right off there. But Fat Joe just doesn't sound as invigorated as he usually is. So, it's a disappointing verse because of that. He just doesn't have that energy I'm used to Fat Joe having. But, well, I'll see the rest. The beat's tight.
Yeah.
Q-Tip does tight beats. So, looking forward to that. In other news, since we bring up 50, may as well go to that next. 50 Cent is launching his own TV channel called 50 Action. No, sorry, 50 Cent Action.
Mm-hmm.
And reportedly it's free.
Yeah, that's going to be huge.
You can sign up now for it. It's 50 Cent Action. It's a free channel. It's going to have Power on it and all the shows he did and even more. So that's dope if he keeps it free.
Yeah.
See, I think he's able to do it because it doesn't say it's non-advertising, right? No commercials.
Yeah.
And that's how you can make your money and keep it free. And the Power series is already a blockbuster type series, right?
This is it.
So that's I haven't seen any of the Power because I didn't have Crave TV and I didn't have Stars and that stuff.
Oh, you're missing out.
I know. Well, I won't if it's free and I can watch it there,
Yeah.
right? So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, yeah, because he has so much content that he's been producing and been a part of. It's like when you think about you got all the books of Power. So you got Power Book 1, Power Book 2. Then you have the Tommy Story. What is it called? Force. And then you have Raising Kanan. And there's all kinds of
BMF his too?
BMF is his too. And I feel like he has more in the tuck that he's coming out with. So it's like he has an eye for talent, and he always has. Look what do people forget? This guy bought into vitamin water, then sold it for billions.
Yeah. Also, I think I heard somewhere that he's collaborating with Tyler Perry. And what's dope with that is that he'll have a platform to put it out on.
Yeah. Well, and Tyler Perry was in the process. I don't know if he's finished it, but he was in the process of constructing his own movie, not network, but own movie
Studio.
Studios like what you would have in Hollywood kind of thing. You go to
50
Paramount
Cent did that
Studios.
too, eh?
Yeah.
G Unit Films, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, they making moves, and it's cool. The only thing about this is that finding out so far in advance, you're always waiting. That's like with the Marvel movies. I hate that I know that Avengers is coming out in 2026. It's 2 years away, man. I got to sit here and wait for the Doctor Doom. I got to sit here and wait. I preferred it back when I knew what was just coming out next year. not what's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah.
So now, getting excited for this 50 Cent stuff and not having clear dates, you're just waiting, and you're like, oh, man.
What do you think it does to the brand? Like I'm always interested in how people feel about that. Like say like how Marvel was doing, where they released so many different titles that people knew for like the next 10, 15 years of movies, this is what it's going. And then all of a sudden release dates got changed, and then some films might not be happening anymore and stuff. Do you feel like that tarnishes the brand a little bit?
I don't want to say tarnishes the brand. I'd say it's like a double-edged sword. For one, it builds up hype, right? So people have stuff to look forward to if it's new. I think, like stuff like the Avengers, that will build up hype, right? Or if it was like, the new Spider-Man and stuff like that, there's certain things that can build up hype. But I think the downfall is that because it's a cinematic universe, you can it can take away some of the excitement because it takes away surprises. Like for instance, the Captain America Civil War, that movie that came out, it was announced to come out after the Avengers Age of Ultron. And that, there'll be some spoilers here. These movies is old, so if you ain't seen them, that's on you. Anyways, it introduced Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, right? And then they said that Civil War will bring back all the heroes, and it showed who was coming back and didn't mention Quicksilver. So then it's no surprise when Quicksilver dies.
Yeah.
Because he's not in the next movie. What are you going to say? He's on vacation? No, why aren't you in the next movie? So stuff like that, giving away stuff like that can dead the storyline because you'll always... Comic book movies are predictable as it is. You don't go to a Spider-Man movie like, oh, he's going to die in this one. No, he's going to win in the end, right? But if it's a teen movie, there could be some tragedy and stuff. So to have like Avengers 1 out, this is just an example, this ain't happening. Avengers 1 out and have 6 of them and announce Avengers 2 and then have the cast but only have 5 of them, you're like, okay. I'm going into Avengers 1 already knowing dude's going to get capped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't like that. And then also another thing is that now Marvel's better than this than what's the other? DC.
Yeah.
DC's more reactive. Like Marvel will do a movie and if it doesn't sell well, they still go course.
Yeah.
Because they have a vision. DC and why they never shit didn't happen. And this goes to movies that were announced and then never happened. Like the Justice League didn't do well. That's why there's no Justice League 2. And that's why, like, they don't stay the course. So you're almost like, they're not really invested.
Yeah.
If you're all ready to, because online critics say this about this, to just change your course. Like, since DC came out, there's like 3 different Batmans? And now there's going to be a new Superman. The Superman's being filmed, the new one, and they're rebooting it. It just shows that you don't have any faith in your product. And you seem less invested because you're not like, okay, you didn't like this, but wait, we got a plan. You'll like this. Because sometimes, like, I feel like I've been talking forever. Anyways.
No.
Sometimes, like, a movie, like, won't work as well as you thought. Like that one with Kang, the last one with Kang, Quantumania. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Didn't do that well. But then the next one could do something that calls back to that and make you want to go watch that and then respect that more because you're like, oh, yeah, this is that. This is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what it's good when you stick with your brand and you have a vision. So in the long run, yeah, if you have a vision and you do stuff, I think it can work. If you're reactive, because you're just, basically it looks like you're just doing it for money.
Yeah.
Because you're just trying to do what works rather than...
What I've kind of found with the whole DC lane is I feel like instead of relying on the character to build the franchise up, they're relying on the actor's star power to build that franchise up. And when it doesn't happen that way, that's why we see so many different reboots of different characters coming in and playing different roles. That's kind of what I found. I know that in the beginning, like if you look at like some of the stuff that was happening with Sony and Marvel, like before they had that merger. That's kind of what was happening there as well, right? With the different Spider-Mans, with the different Fantastic Fours. Like they didn't get exactly what they wanted out of it, so they went back to the drawing board and was like, well, let's put a new cast in here. Who are the hot actors out right now? And let's put those people in those positions and see if that movie sells based off the actors' star power, rather than the actual characters that have been living up your comic book franchise for like 30, 40 years.
Yeah, that's like I had this conversation with when we had Mark and Leanne on the filmmakers on the show. Like when Fox had the rights to some characters and Sony did the rights, you can feel just from their movies that they're doing these movies to make money. They're just doing it to make money. That's why the storylines are usually just whatever. It's just, and they rely on spectacle and like star power. They're like, you know what I mean? Anyone will come see this because it got him in it, rather than, is the movie good?
Yeah.
Is it got a story? That's like with Spider-Man's, like, because now that they got Sony and Marvel kind of got a deal where Spider-Man stays over in the MCU. But Sony still wants to make money off of Spider-Man. So they're making movies off of spin-off characters. Now Venom worked because Venom's Venom.
Yeah. And when they did have a good person who played Venom as well.
Right, yeah.
So they did, that star power in that situation did work because he was just coming off some pretty big films himself, right?
But the other two films did not work. They had Morbius with Jared Leto, who has good star power.
Yep.
But again, if you watch that movie,
Yeah, I never even saw it.
you're not missing anything. It was the worst piece of shit ever, man. And you could tell it was just banked off of his star power. And him just trying to overact and everything. He's taking the role too serious, and the rest of the movie is just like hunky-junky.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Madam Web. And that was Dakota Johnson from 50 Shades of Grey. And it also had Sydney Sweeney. She's this up-and-coming actress that's doing Euphoria is the TV show she got big on.
Yeah.
But her star power is rising.
And those are two humongous type of either shows and films, right?
Yeah. And that movie tanked because there was the story and everything sucked. It's like you could tell they don't have a vision. And then it doesn't help that the actors afterwards kind of trashed the movie. But I think that's bad taste. If you're in the movie, stand by it, whether it bombs or if it does well.
Yeah.
You did it. You acted. You know what I mean? Anyways, but yeah, that's why MCU's people are saying they're falling off because people call them woke. Apparently, if a movie doesn't have a set amount of white male leads, it's woke. But I ignore all that. The movies was good, but DC. I hope with this new reboot that they get it right, man. They just got to stop competing with Marvel.
Yeah.
They're trying to be where Marvel is now rather than go through the steps that Marvel got to go there. Marvel didn't start Iron Man 1 with all these plans.
No.
They just started it, it worked, and then they went on to Incredible Hulk, and that worked. And then later on, they're like, hey, this is working. We can bring them together. That's what DC should do. Instead, they already put out a roadmap, and it's like, yeah, that's what we're doing. But they don't stick to it.
Yeah.
As soon as one movie doesn't work, they change the whole thing. And
yeah, if you don't stick to your roadmap, it makes your franchise look unreliable.
Yeah, it looks like
and shaky.
Like I said, it looks like you have no faith in your own franchise.
Yeah.
So, or the people you're working with, and that's why directors leave. And yeah, but that was quite the tangent. That was off of 50 Cent. Oh, I should also mention 50 Cent won a $1 billion. He didn't win the $1 billion. It was a $1 billion lawsuit against him.
Yeah,
with someone saying that power was based off him. I forget. Was it Supreme?
No. It was this I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a drug lord during a certain time period. The part that kind of got me on it was like the former drug lord suing 50 Cent, and then within the lawsuit as well, he was claiming that 50 Cent and his people were threatening him and his family. And I was like, wait a minute. Aren't you what 50 Cent claims to be on his music? Okay.
People just, I don't know, man. That's one thing about the United States. You can get sued for anything.
Yeah.
People just make up shit. Doesn't even have to make sense.
Well, and the thing about it is I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Fry me in the comments if I am. But to go into a court case and say that this character is based off of me about a character who openly commits murder and sells drugs, I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Aren't you opening up a case on yourself? Or
It seems like you're snitching on yourself.
like, it just seems like you're setting up for future problems.
Yeah, that's what it seems like, man. I don't know. It made no sense. Glad 51 because that was crazy. It's like you can't make fiction no more. If you make a story that could be like somebody and they're like, yo, I did that. Hey, he's talking about me. I'm suing. Nah, man, get out of here with that. Speaking of law stuff, Cardi B filed for divorce again from Offset, and then at the same time announced that she's pregnant with the third child. And says how he's a good father and they do a lot. Like, it must just be cheating again. Because that's the last night. He keeps cheating on her.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say about that.
Yeah, and there's all, it's the rumor mill, right? There's back and forth. She's doing this, he's doing that, whatever. Then they're together, then they're not. It's like could have just been like
Private?
it could have been private, but could their relationship be two people who were initially put together as a star power couple, and then they just kind of fell for each other?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because you got to think about it, like, what is it, Offset? He was just a member of the group, right?
Yeah, Migos.
Yeah, he was just a member of the group. He wasn't like the Quavo was the standout. But as soon as he got with Cardi B, he was now the standout. Right?
I wonder. I don't know, man.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. Because I do hear that they do set up dates like that and try and make power couples.
Yeah.
It could be. A lot of people say that about Jay-Z and Beyonce. Mm-hmm. They look at the two of them together and like, how could she with him? But
hey, Jay-Z was the man at the time.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, he was the biggest artist going. Once Pac, Biggie, and I say even somewhat DMX was out the way, because DMX kind of fell back and started getting in charges and going into jail, and there was drug addiction and those kind of things. But like, Jay-Z was that top guy at that time. Not in my playlist personally. No knock to you there, but you just weren't my cup of tea as much as other people's. I'd say probably my favorite song would have been "It Was All Good" just a week ago.
Oh, that's a jam.
That's probably like my favorite song by Jay-Z.
Yeah. That and "This Can't Be Life."
That's a good one, yeah.
Like the Dynasty, and I'll say this: the Dynasty was my favorite Jay-Z album.
Yeah,
I just like the beats and everything better, and yeah, man, I don't find myself going to Jay. Like when I was younger, I had his albums, but I don't go like, I don't go back to Jay. I don't know why. It just doesn't resonate. It didn't have the longevity that a lot of music. Like I put on All Eyes on Me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I
put on Nas.
Oh, I put DMX.
DMX easy.
At least once a week.
Easy.
if not once a day, once a week for sure. Dark and Hell's Hot, I listen to that beginning to end.
Yeah.
But I wonder why I don't listen to it. Anyways, I digress. Maybe, who knows? Who knows? I know that there are power couples out there. Maybe Offset and Cardi B is one of them. But the thing is that this is like the third time she filed for divorce. I wonder if it's just something she puts out there to make him act right or do something. Because you think this one's going to go through?
Well, and the whole thing about it is, I think that they might have a little bit of realization, what everybody realizes, right? It's that those people who got you, they got you. No, it might have some transgressions in their system, or whatever, but most of the time that they got them. And I don't think anyone's going to care for Cardi the same way that Offset did.
And wouldn't that be funny, though? It's like, in our lives, our version of a fight is a girl making you sleep on the couch. Their version is filing for divorce.
Yeah.
And then taking it back like a couple weeks later.
But you just brought up an interesting point, though. How many people would like to file for divorce but can't because it costs the cost of it? This guy's got unlimited funds.
Yeah, true that.
So that's just a couple bucks.
True that. Yeah. Well, I hope it works out. If it doesn't, if that's what's best for them, then hope that
they're good together, and it's good to see the family together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. What else we got? The Game's working on his new album, Documentary 3. And he's got another kid on the way.
Yeah, and I didn't even really think that was honestly newsworthy, to be quite honest. I know he's a little bit getting up there in age, but I look at it different. Like, if I had the money that those guys had, I'd probably have a football team.
See, the way it resonated with me is that me and my girls talking about having a kid.
Yeah.
And I always said, no, we too old. But then I keep seeing these older guys have kids. And I'm like, I could do it.
Yeah.
I could do it. I don't know if my knees is in it no more. I might have to get one of those things to strap them on rather than carry them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could do it. He even RS Smooth recently had a kid. He older than me.
Shout out to RS.
So I was like, yeah, man. All right. I can do it. Might make it a little we started a podcast onesie baby for the kid. But he's the Game's dropping his new album 20 years to the date after his first album that came out in 2005 on January 18th. So 2025, January 18th, we're going to hear his new album called The Documentary 3.
People always sleep on Game's impact to West Coast, to hip-hop itself. Like, he was instrumental in bringing the coast back. Like, let's not forget that. Like, when he came up with G-Unit, what other West Coast artists were really pumping at that time?
Yeah, you're right. It's like, because that's the funny thing. Aftermath was what was pumping. A West Coast record label that didn't have a West Coast artist pumping.
Yep.
And then the Game was that West Coast artist that they got. Because, yeah, he had M from Detroit and Fitty from New York. And then, but Dre's doing the beats. Dre's the guy.
Yeah.
It's like, yo, man, put one of your peoples on. And then he did. He tried to put him with G-Unit and things didn't work out because, egos is egos.
Yeah.
But, he's outshone his G-Unitness. You know what I mean? Like, no one looks back at him as a G-Unit member no more when you hear Game. So, that's dope. Yeah, Game, I got to listen to more of his stuff. His first album, I killed it. And his second album, I heard a little. And then it's usually features I heard him on. But yeah, I got to get it more into the Game.
Yeah, and he was like one of those people who brought street West Coast culture to the mainstream. People don't like when when the documentary came out. Do people remember there was a documentary that came along with that, where you even saw him go to his best friend Billboard's funeral, who got killed during the making of the DVD, and like he's going exposing you, showing you the different neighborhoods in LA and like what to do and what to wear and those kind. Like he was exposing that gang culture that is so prevalent in music today. He was exposing that a long time ago. Not saying that that's a good or bad thing, but he put the coast on. However you want to look at it.
Well, I think it's always a good thing to show the culture.
Yeah.
Because you're not encouraging it.
Yeah.
That like that's why I say about rappers back when we grew up. Like their drug talk was different than the drug talk now. Our rappers was like, yo, our rappers would talk about what they had to sell to get money to get their family out the hood. While rappers nowadays talk about what they bought to get high.
Yeah, this is true. But in the same breath, go back to the Eminem piece, we did have Purple Hills. That was like a little bit later. Like if you're going to 90s music, no, that wasn't that prevalent in the drug usage talk. But once you started going into a little bit more into the late 90s, early 2000s, there was lots of talk about it. But it wasn't the same way as it's now. It was more of a happy talk. You know what I mean? Like when you think about Purple Hills, that was more of a happier kind of song.
I'm trying to wonder how many others were like that after that, other than Purple Hills. Like Weed, I won't count that. It wasn't like there wasn't a Bone Thugs album without a song about.
Oh yeah, Bone Thugs, yeah.
And Meth and Red, of course.
Yeah.
But like the hurt drugs, like Purple, like. Was there any other songs like that? Was anyone else doing that?
Not that I can really recall before them.
Shit. Was Eminem D12 the first Hip hop drug addicts? Shit.
Yeah. Remember, one of Eminem's...
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Old Dirty.
Old Dirty, yeah. Old Dirty.
You talk about cocaine.
Yeah.
And being stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's not forget about Old Dirty.
Can't forget about Old Dirty.
God rest his soul.
But those were more unique
Yeah.
than what is today.
Yeah, today it's more of like, I find it's more of sad, depressing drug music. You know what I mean?
It's a mix between that and a parody drug music, but like the music is like almost encouraging overdoses to a point. But yeah, like the sad, depressing stuff is even, I say, more respectable than the other stuff, because they're like, because in that type of music, they're still not like promoting the drug use.
Yeah.
They're saying, I do this because I'm trying to deal with this stuff, right? So that's like more of a depression, whereas you'll get some like the syrup era.
Yeah,
like
that's something that's
like,
a big era that I forgot about.
Like that era was just messed up. Lots of people died off of that.
Yeah.
Like, because they were promoting it. They weren't promoting it because they were trying to deal with stuff. They promoted it as like a party favor, which I think is different. Like when Juice WRLD and them talk about it, it's more of a trying to cope mechanism, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely find there's a lot more coping mechanism music than party doing that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And so I could definitely respect the coping mechanism type of drug songs more than the party. You should, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because even on that note, they're not promoting it. They're like, yo, y'all shouldn't do this. I don't want to be doing this either.
Yeah.
But it's helped me through this. But yeah, it is what it is, man.
What we got on that list? We keep going off and off and off.
Yeah. We almost done. Shoot, we already talked about this. Not Like Us, best-selling song in 2024.
Yeah,
we talked about that.
A big feat.
Yeah. I'm just going to say it again. Over 800 million views on YouTube, and over 2 million as of June sales. Could this be like, man, if this goes diamond quick? Like, because that says as of June. It's August now. Like, man, I got to see the numbers, man. This gotta, and this brings me into the next thing that is disappointing. You heard those numbers, right? So tell me why, for the best hip hop nominees for MTV Video Music Awards, I'll say it again, MTV Video Music Awards.
Yeah, trying to get that Moon Man.
Kendrick ain't on there for best hip hop. He's on there for Song of the Year, but he ain't on there for best hip hop. You know who's on there? Rich Baby Daddy by Drake, Houdini by Eminem, Yo Glow by Glorilla, Fuck You Mean by Gunna. I like that song. Boa by Megan Thee Stallion, and Fiend by Travis Scott and Playboi Carti. None of them coming close to the views that Not Like Us have it, but Not Like Us isn't nominated there.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
I don't know. My prediction is Eminem for that one.
Of course.
Like but not even just based off the race or anything like that. It's just based off of those songs there. I think that, I think it holds a candle over all those other ones, to be quite honest.
I personally think that Eminem shouldn't even be in it because I think it's too new. Like a month ago.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, and it's already nominated. That's not fair.
But his rollout for it though has been pretty crazy, man. Like, I don't know if you saw any of the side by side interviews with him talking to Slim Shady.
Yeah.
Like those are genius in itself because he's talking like I'm a grown man. I grew out of this, and Slim Shady's just getting him like. Those albums sucked. Like I wasn't feeling none of those. He said all those people are coming for me, right?
But my question is like, when's the cutoff for these nominations though? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How could it get nominated so quickly? That's my only issue.
Yeah,
it seems very freaking fast, and a song that's been lighting it up isn't on it. We don't even got to kill a mic on there.
Yeah, I don't see any of those other songs to be quite. I like Gorilla. She got some good songs. That Rich Baby Daddy one, I'm not a fan of that at all.
In my opinion, Sexy Red ruins that song.
Well, that song, the only reason that I think it's got as much attention as it did because of the controversy around it coming out, right? Where is he really your baby's daddy? You know, there was so much of that going around. I think that's why that was propelled to.
I actually like the video. I mean, the video's funny, and like as far as liking the song, I like the verses, the beat, but Sexy Red's. I don't know how she's famous. Her voice is just. It doesn't. She don't have a voice suited for music, in my opinion. Like, yeah, she ruins the chorus, but then SZA comes in and sings. So I can see why it's there, but still, how long has that been out compared to Houdini?
Yeah, that's had a long shelf life compared to that Houdini. That's for sure.
And the thing is like, I'm a Kendrick fan, and I don't want to sound like I'm always championing this song, but what it's doing in the numbers, it's like people. How are they not letting the numbers and stuff speak for these nominations? Like how it should be on the list.
Yeah.
Even if it lost, maybe they don't. You know what? Maybe it's strategic. Maybe they want to give it to Houdini, but there'd be some shit if Houdini beat Not Like Us.
I think Houdini's going to win it, and this might be my going into conspiracy theory bag here for a minute, but who out of all those artists there, who relates more to the MTV audience?
That's why Eminem.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How long has he been going back and forth with MTV stuff? His whole career, right?
Yeah. I agree with you. I think Eminem's winning.
Yeah.
And that's why I think they didn't put Not Like Us in it, because I think Eminem beating Kendrick when it's the biggest song of the year, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Because people would be like, because they'd make it into a race thing.
Oh, absolutely.
They'd be like, how is him? Because even if you look at it, yeah, man, like, Not Like Us was before Houdini.
But it might be the way that it was registered. Like, because I remember that, like, when Not Like Us came out, there was some weird thing around like the music registration piece of it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it wasn't on certain platforms in the beginning and things like that, and then it got released to platforms after a minute.
Are you sure it was Not Like Us? I thought that was one of the Euphoria or one.
No, Meet the Grams was like that. I'm pretty sure, but I was pretty sure Not Like Us was like that as well.
Because I thought that.
Fry me in the comments if I'm wrong, man. Our music lovers, you got to let us know.
Yeah. True that. I know. I think it was Euphoria. And Meet the Grams, because they was on YouTube first, and then a little later came to Spotify. But I don't know.
But Not Like Us came out like 9 hours after Drake dropped something.
I know, but I do feel like it came out right to Spotify.
Yeah,
because they had the picture of his house. Like I remember.
No, I remember it came on YouTube. I was watching a video of DJ Academics getting ready to break down the Drake song, and he was like literally snapping through off his head. He was like, he just dropped. And then he started breaking down the Kendrick thing, right?
That was the best strategy ever, man. Fuck.
Yeah, he's just waiting in the tuck.
I know the next battle, whoever is between, they're going to try and replicate that one.
Yeah.
Because, that was a sweet move, man.
How do you personally feel looking at Kendrick's catalog and this being his highest selling song? Do you feel like that's good, or do you feel like it's right, or do you feel like there's other songs in his catalog that should outweigh this?
Is it the highest already, or is it
it's
just the fastest?
Well, it's got to be
all right though. Well, that's been out for a while, so it might.
Check the numbers, man.
Yeah.
We got to check the numbers.
Yeah, we can't check the numbers right here in real time.
Yeah.
So, but if it is, it's hard to be mad at it because it's a jam. But I know his catalog, he got so much better in it.
Yeah. Like the vibe of the song, the chorus in the song is great. I love it, and it's something to vibe to, and it's that dance anthem for the entire coast.
Yeah,
right. Just I try to get my mind past that. I see kids now censoring themselves, but for the first bit, watching kids walk around saying "certified lover boy," "certified pedophile," like watching all the young kids say that was hard to take in. I was just like, do they know what they're saying?
Yeah. And the funny, crazy thing is that those aren't even the dopest lines in the song.
Yeah, I know.
That third verse when he breaks down Drake and Atlanta. That's because like that's the verse. That was the one where Drake just packed his bags.
Yeah,
and was like, let me go back to Toronto for a bit. He speaking of that, he announced he's doing an joint album with Party Next Door, which is, I hope it's good. The thing is, Party Next Door, man, he's like, felt like it was catfished by him, man.
In what way?
Like that song, "You're Not Nice" by him. One of my favorite songs of all time. Made me run to his music. Nothing touches it.
Yeah.
I was like, man, really? And listening to his music and like all of his, just like, I was like, man, it's nothing compares to it to me.
Yeah.
Like just the feel, the vibe to that, like the beat, the everything, man. That song is just, that's on my playlists, But that is the only song by him I have on a playlist.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't say that I have him on a playlist, but he's not someone like I'm gonna run to turn off if I hear them play it. Like I'm gonna vibe to his music, but it's not like something I would go to myself.
Yeah. Saying like that. But anyways, them together on Drake, when he's in that R&B bag, he's unstoppable.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. Last but not least, mentioned the I think last pod we mentioned about what happened in Africville, and now we have my cousin put me onto a GoFundMe for Tutu. She got shot in a bullet in her back, I believe.
Yeah, she's currently in recovery as far as my understanding. In good spirits, but still in a very rough spot. Prayers up to the family. Prayers up to the community that's supporting them. And there is a GoFundMe that's active right now. If you want to get out there and do your support, do your part in supporting that family. Again, like we said, there's a GoFundMe on there. Share it on your page. Let people know about it. Community needs the help, and community needs to see that support.
Yeah, I'll put the GoFundMe on the screen right now, and also in the description of this video, so that you can, if it flashes on the screen too fast for you, you can just go copy and paste from the description. Yeah. And go show support, man.
Yeah. And also this weekend, I think it's the 13th, or not the 13th. What's those? The 10th or 11th. They're having a day down at Africville, this movement to stop gun violence. So it's a community organization called 902 Man Up. They're going to be doing a community day down there to take back Africville, and they would appreciate all the community support. So whether you're going there to support the movement, whether you're going there to spend time with your family and showcase that this is the land for our people to feel safe on.
And that's the Saturday tomorrow.
I think it's actually Sunday.
Okay. Well, this weekend.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else you'd like to add?
Other than that, I remember that you did something really cool.
What?
Not too long ago.
What?
Got to walk in a fashion show. I know you probably already talked about it while I wasn't here, but
we talked about that last part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm laughing because Laton's reaction.
I gotta go back and scoop that to see his reaction.
Because I had a hard time articulating when I was explaining how we had to act out the mental health stuff.
Yeah.
And he just didn't know what I was talking about. He just started laughing. I was like, "You're laughing at mental health?" He's like, "No, man, I'm laughing at what you're trying to say." It's like,
yeah.
Yeah, that was dope.
Yeah, so it was a really cool show put on here at the Lighthouse Center by the folks from Art of Healing and Warriors of Light, highlighting mental health and addiction. So I'll try to articulate it a little bit better. Maybe Laton can watch it and either laugh or give me a thumbs up on it. So basically what was taking place during this fashion show was each individual who was modeling would go up to the front of the room as a recording was playing of somebody giving their descriptions of what they were experiencing dealing with this mental health issue or addiction. And simply what the models were doing was kind of just acting out the mental health or addictions issue that that story was explaining. So they had ones around depression, suicidal ideation, multi-generational trauma, different things like that. So we were trying to present to the best of our abilities what somebody experiencing those feelings might be going through. It was a interesting, very cool type of event, and I hope to do more and being able to bring my people in more on that. Baton, you're coming to do one soon too, buddy.
Yeah. I'm definitely down for more. Yeah.
Sure.
And yeah, you said a lot better than I did. Because, yeah, I guess because they seen the pictures first. And the first thing, like, why are you sitting in the chair?
Yeah.
I thought it was a runway. Like, why are you sitting? And I was trying to explain while laughing. Because you know, when you do tell someone you're in a fashion show, and in the first picture you showed them you're sitting down, that is kind of a funny.
Listen. My girl was watching it, because I showed her some of the pictures that your girl took, and I was like, I held it up and looked at. She's like, "You got your Zoolander model face going on there." I'm like, "Ah,
Zoolander."
So that made me crack up too much. I can't look at the picture without thinking that.
She brought up the Zoolander.
She said, "You got the Magnum Steel going on."
Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Yeah, next time, just so I have a little bit more in advance, so I can put it out there more. Like, yeah, there's so many people that like should have told Tara about it. She probably would have been like,
Yeah.
And other people like, yeah, I didn't even think. It was on the fly, right? And I had other things going on. That's why I missed the first rehearsal. And then I later realized I didn't miss nothing at the rehearsal.
No, we were doing the rehearsal live right before the show.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'd like, because, like you said, an audio plays and you go in there and act it out. And because we didn't really do a rehearsal, I didn't know how long it played for. So, and I noticed that nobody else did. That's why people were leaving before it was over, and they're like, shoot. Or I think at the beginning, one person stayed too long, and then the next one played. I was like, shoot, yeah. Next time, just a slight more rehearsal, because everything else was tight.
Yeah.
It's just that not knowing what you're going to do until like 5 minutes before you're doing it.
Yeah, that could be difficult, but we operate on the fly.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Keep you on your toes, and everyone did well.
Yeah,
everyone did well.
Yeah, shout out to everyone that was a part of that show, helped bring that show together, did the audio recordings, did interviews beforehand. Anybody who was helped partake in that, Lighthouse Center for giving us the opportunity to do that in their space. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. And I think that's all from me.
That's all from me.
All right. Swole? I said swole? What the fuck is that? I tried to say so.
Well there, sir.
I tried to say so and well at the same time. Is it swole? Whatever. Anyways, I'm John Kizzy. You know who is he? A.K.A. Philly G, because they know who I be. And I'm here with my cousin Ray Ray.
What it do? You know who I be. Here I am. I'm him.
Peace. And we out.